So, hi all, today we're round the table and we're going to do a little bit of a meet the team video for you from Team DCL. Obviously, DCL, we're into year 2 now, so we're a fairly fresh new brand, but we bring a wealth of experience from the industry. So we wanted you guys just to get to know us a little bit better and what our individual skill sets are and stuff like that. So I'll introduce myself first. My name's Darren Darling. I'm the Technical Director of DC Lubricants. I'm joined today by our MD, John Marsden, aka High Tech John. You can ask him if you see him face to face why we'll call him High Tech John. And also joined by one of the other directors, Tom Johnson, and we'll get to know these guys. Unfortunately, Chris Corns is unable to join us today because he's a bit poorly, but Tom will speak on both our behalves because anyone that knows the guys, they're a bit of a double act. They're like a less funny Ant and Dec. Or in fact...
or a funnier?
No, they're like more like, actually, they're like Ant and Dec, but just not funny. That's probably a better way to explain
we'll take
it.
that.
So,
we'll take that
we'll go around the table. We'll tell you a bit of our backstory, our skill set, what we bring to the table with DCL, and why we believe that we have a really strong team and and a strong brand. So we'll start with Tom and Chris.
So yeah,
Well, imagine Chris is here.
I'm Tom, and Chris is obviously not here today. So we bring with us 30 years of diagnostics tool selling experience. Most people know us for the last 6 years with Diagnostic Connections, but previous to Diagnostic Connections, obviously you both know, we were with another company before we were made redundant and started out on our own. Diagnostic Connections has gone from strength to strength. So really to DC Lubricants, we bring warehousing, financing, stocking, fulfillment, getting stuff out the door, and knowing how to move boxes. Whereas obviously you guys bring completely different skills with your technical abilities and your sales abilities. Obviously Chris is huge into the sales side of things as well. Myself, more the financial side of things, the operational side of things,
all the really exciting stuff,
the spreadsheets, the VAT returns, and the stuff that I love and you don't.
Yeah, I don't.
And you don't have to. No.
And with that, anyone that that's dealt with Diagnostic Connections over the years, you have become sort of the go-to diagnostic tool suppliers for a lot of the top tier workshops out there, because your support has been good, and also
Chris and myself believe
reliability.
In customer support, the non-pushiness, the looking after customers. We've got a great team in our office looking after the customers with support side of things, with Jack, with James, with Freya. Freya, who does all our social content and will at some point be stitching a lot of this together. James, who does a lot of our warehouse fulfillment and getting your boxes out the door to your customers. On time, every time. Jack with support. And me and Chris just holding that team together. Yeah. And Carl as well. Let's not forget Carl sat in the office up in the northern side of the operations with
the southern side.
With
north. We'll use the term north loosely here.
The Midlands. With Chris being right by his side as well for everything that's ever required of him. We've built ourselves a fantastic team with Diagnostic Connections, and that's just all of those people put something into DC Lubricants as well. Recently, we've just got a new guy, Kevin, on the road for Diagnostic Connections, who you've both now met and get on very well. Great guy. Yeah. So he'll be banging the drum for DC Lubricants as well, and carrying on the ethos of not being pushy, giving good, helpful service,
and no false promises
products.
And stuff like that. Just do things right. Make sure that
there's too many others doing that.
Yeah.
It's good, honest advice on anything that we've ever done,
and making sure we've got good stock levels, good delivery times.
Yeah, that's one of the harder parts with DC Lubricants. We've never been involved in a consumable before, so working out stock levels is something that moves so rapidly. It's diagnostics tools is a 3-4 year purchase cycle for us usually. we've got a good pattern of that over the many, many years we've been doing this. To get our heads around a consumable is weird. It's nuts to hold, pallets and pallets in the warehouse of stuff where
scheduled ordering and stuff
scheduled
like that.
ordering, waiting for things to be made for us. It's been a very, very fast learning curve.
It's been exciting. It's been different.
And thankfully, none of it we've got wrong so far. We believe in overstocking. We never want to run out of anything. That's got to be a key. We've always got to have stock on the shelf. Whereas with the diagnostics tool, if something's not there in a week, there's generally something.
Somebody's already generally got a tool and they're looking to update it.
Yeah,
in a couple
I'm not
of
in a
weeks
massive hurry.
Isn't a problem.
Exactly.
But we're fast moving stuff like this. People need to order it and it's there, isn't it? So.
We've been highly successful in planning those schedule orders.
And that's been great for me because that sort of stuff isn't my thing. How much are we going to sell in the next 3 months, 6 months? How much stock do we need? And you guys have taken.
But as well, as a workshop owner, you need to have the product there when you need the product with a consumable.
I'm maybe not your typical workshop owner in that respect, where I never leave anything to the last minute, and that's not as we know, that's not always the case. Someone's using their last can of Detox Pro and they're going, oh, I've just used my last can, so they're on, and that's cool because we've got plenty stock and we've got fast deliveries.
It's a lot of ordering just.
But I'm down to my last 2 boxes.
Yeah.
I'm on my last 24 cans of that, so I'm gonna order. More stock.
And we've got many customers like you. We've got many customers not like you. We want to be able to
But
fulfill both options.
Yeah, but we need to make sure that it's there in a it's fast paced and we're a good solid supplier. So a little bit easier going into year 2 now. We've got a bigger
We've got
picture.
some stocking history now, so
we have, and we've got people that are, purchasing the same sort of quantities each month, which is great, So
I can enter data into the spreadsheet and things.
I'm out now, guys. When we're going to turn the cameras off now. When we start talking about spreadsheets. Now, my wife tells me that I snore really, really loud. So if we talk about spreadsheets for too long, everyone's going to hear how loud my snoring is on this little video, But no, it's been great to have that skill set, and then obviously, High Tech John. Came in fairly just about at the start, probably a month.
December last year.
Yeah. So we had product for a month when you came in, so right at the start, blank canvas just about, So if you'd like to share with the viewers, John, your sort of background, you bring a lot of industry experience as well, you didn't just wander in.
No.
Off the street,
I've got 27 years working in the aftermarket for one of the largest car parts suppliers, one of the main guys, running as a general manager, one of the largest branches in Heathrow, which was a great job. Enjoyed, worked with many people, a lot of garages, so a lot of my knowledge is based on teamwork, strategizing with sales staff, trying to build daily sales, working to give the best possible customer service, value for money, and opportunities to garages to buy their parts quickly, right part, right price, first time, delivered quickly. That was the strategy for all them years. But obviously, times move on, and an opportunity came along to join you guys with the team.
An exciting team.
Yeah, and a new venture which basically is looking really, really fantastic moving forward, and picking on some of the old customers we used to have and having a chat with them about in the last year about the new opportunities.
And although we're pretty much just heading into the start of year 2 now, it's been quite an exciting ride along the venturing unknown to a certain degree. New brand. How are people going to take to us and things like that, and it's been good to see look back over that year and see.
I think that's where it can be really tricky with the new brand, but that's where your expertise come in with the mixology, the getting the what is in the can right for us, and having the best possible product we can make.
Yeah,
I think it's very much a combination. I think where we're strong with DCL is we do have different skill sets, spreadsheets, and
Yeah.
trends, and all this
Fun
sort of
stuff.
stuff. Oh
Yeah.
no, all that, do you know what I mean? Cars are my thing, you know, and anyone watching this my background, 34 years I've been in the trade now as a vehicle technician. I'm a diesel guy. Everyone will know that. We're starting to see a little bit of petrol stuff. I've actually got a petrol car in my workshop tomorrow with a GPF, a gasoline particle filter problem to look at. It's been into the local dealerships. I'm not sure what's going on, so I'll take a look at that tomorrow and we'll apply some logic to it and things like that. So, but I'm, people know me as a diesel guy. So, 34 years industry experience. Probably for the last 9 years now since we started specialising in DPF repairs. Previous to that, we were still fairly specialised in our workshop, concentrating on diagnosing faults. Other workshops would maybe book a job in with us and we'd work out what was wrong, and then they can go and carry out the repair and stuff like that, So, 34 years of fixing cars and stuff like that is my background, We started the DPF Doctor sort of 9 years ago because we've seen a gap in the market for tackling DPF repairs and getting things right, what have people missed and stuff like that. So people that work with us, obviously we've been delivering training to 161 workshops, I think, on the DPF Doctor network currently. It's give us a good understanding of what our clients need when they use a can of product or DPF cleaning solution and things like that. So we've brought that to the table where we know what needs to be in the can. In my own workshop, it's not just about an end result or a sales guy coming in and saying, you put this magic potion in the tank and this is your end result.
That's where I found it a massive learning curve that,
you guys
to
were
a year ago, a can's a can, right? An additive's an additive.
And then
you've been so particular with testing many different variants from the chemists that...
I suppose ultimately, I'm here today cleaning this environment and stuff, but tomorrow I'm in the workshop. I'm not full-time in the workshop now, but I still get my time in the workshop. I'm using this stuff.
Yeah. But look at the start, how many different formulas did you try before going, I'm now happy?
Yeah.
But
you weren't happy with quite the few prototypes we had?
No, because I'm really, really, really fussy. And the reason for that is it's not just about the end result. And anyone watching this video that's a specialist in anything will understand this. It's not just about the end result. It's about how quickly it does it, how safely. Are there any risk factors?
Quality aspect of it.
Well, you can't just go blind with certain, especially DPF problems, which is my thing, Things can go wrong very, very quickly with the wrong product.
Correct.
So being powerful and safe, But if I've got a busy day in my own workshop, we're only a small setup. That Energy Tuning's my workshop. The DPF Doctor is the network. But on a busy day, if we've got 7 or 8 DPF problems in on a day, we also can't hang around when it comes to, we've diagnosed the fault, we've fixed that, we now need to clean the DPF safely, but I've got another 6 of them outside.
Yeah, so something fast acting. And
it needs to get I'm very, very fussy. I'm also very, very impatient.
Really?
If you haven't noticed, I can't.
I haven't noticed the fussy part.
No.
I really.
But I cannot do this. I cannot do this. Oh, we'll worry about that next week thing. It's that. No, I need to.
Yeah.
And I'm probably a bit like.
Whereas me and Chris definitely can.
And I suppose if you came in and worked with me in the workshop, you'd maybe think I'm a bit like an annoying head chef in a kitchen or something like that. I'm like, right, what's this? Where were this? Where were that? What's happening with this? What's happening with that? Because I'm thinking of the next job and the next job, and I'm quite often dotting between diagnosing 3
What's
cars
amazing
at once.
is you never drop the ball on any of those jobs.
No.
Everything's done with utter perfection and professionalism.
It's nobody's
it's a
perfect,
lot of
but
admiration.
you learn from it. I'm going to say that experience, as you gain experience, you make some mistakes, but you learn from them, and it sharpens your pencil and it improves your process. And then you get to a point where, you know, what's the saying where an expert in any given field is just a person that's run out of mistakes to make.
Correct.
And I would say that's the reality of it. But you go, the mistakes annoy you, and you learn from them, and you polish your skill set, and then you eventually get to a point where you're a really well-oiled machine, and you're pretty slick at what you're doing. But you have to do the hard yards in the early day, and that's why we deliver training on it and stuff like that. But from us, from a DCL point of view, it was why we all came up with the idea was, you know, we need to do this ourselves. So we're in full control.
And we needed each of those different skill sets.
In the early days conversations and stuff like that. And, you know, let's be honest, if DCL was just me, we wouldn't be here now. You know, all the logistical stuff, it's a monster, isn't it?
Yes,
it really is, you know, to be a good supplier, where we haven't got, you know, we've got the repeat ordering for some of our customers and stuff like that. So let's say Che up at Fife Autotech, Che doesn't get his scheduled monthly delivery because we've dropped the ball. That's not good enough.
Yeah.
You know,
he knows the second of each month.
Yeah.
He knows
his order is coming.
He knows it's coming. He doesn't have to call us. It's all in place, and the stock drops on time every month.
Automated.
Where all the X amount of whatever products and things like that. You know, that's not my skill set. What's in the cans isn't your guys' skill set, but for anyone watching this, the simplest way to describe what's in the cans is it has to be good enough for me to use personally in my workshop. And that was the number one over,
you know, how many you went through. Like I just said, it's
well, I
there
think
was some different options and some
and
different chemicals in different bottles, and you kept tweaking it with the guys back at the Clever Lab.
Well, that's good, and that's my role in there. As we, you know, I'm not a chemist, and contrary to what some people might think, we've not got a chemist. We've definitely not got a chemistry lab in.
Apparently we do. We peel off labels and
in
put
my
new
spare
ones on.
bedroom.
Definitely not my job.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine how horrific that must be in reality? To have to peel everyone off and put one on.
20 pallets worth
at
a time.
So you know, we liaise with the chemists. We use tier 1, you know, and again, there are different levels of quality you can have produced, but it's great for me to have that direct contact. We're doing some R&D on something that you might see added to our range at the minute. You know, that's been ongoing for quite a few months now.
Quite exciting.
Which is something new to the lab as well, right?
It's new to the guys. It's new to the chemists. Yes, it's new to the chemists. So I came up with this idea, and they're like, "All right, okay." And we're liaising, testing. We're a long way off. We could throw that out there at the minute, but we're not where we want to be yet.
No.
And
It's
until
got to
we
stick
are,
with the brand values, right?
Yeah.
100%. So
To follow.
that could be a 6 months project. It could be a 12 months project. We'll do some testing, and when it's right, then we can add it to our range. So it's great for me to have that direct contact with the guys where I can go, I like this, but we need a bit more of this to happen, and stuff like that. And, you know, when it comes to especially the in-tank stuff, and I think where we shine with that is I had my workshop owner's hat on with the all-in-one products. You know, the Emissions Detox Pro has been a real big hit because rather than buying 4 different products, they're all rolled into one.
Yeah.
And that
Simplicity.
it's simplicity, and the feedback from the field's been good on that. But for me, as a technical director, I'm also a workshop owner.
Yeah.
I also have to stock it, and newsflash, I still buy my own product for the workshop as well. So, you know, I'm not having to buy 5 different products to be on the shelf. So, you know, I walk into my workshop, you know, we've got 2 bays there. So me and Callum have got our own bays, and I walk in there, my shelf's stocked. You know, if I've got sticky turbo vanes on something I look at tomorrow, it's the same can. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm using a lot of it for minor, you know, lower level DPF blockages and stuff like that, where I've got a problem and I can use the in-tank stuff. It's the same.
It's just the benefits of that multi-fixer,
same
isn't
can,
it?
yeah.
Fixing all the different things.
And for me, getting that right, where a lot of people say, and sometimes people haven't thought this through properly, And if it's, especially if it's one of the guys that I work with that you know, we train, they know that I'm fussy, or they should know that I'm fussy. So they'll go, is that little can going to be strong enough for this? I'm like, why would it not be? Yeah. And they go, yeah, that's a good point.
Well, it's also to because me and Chris, music to our ears. One can of stocking, a petrol, a diesel. Yeah. That saved massively on warehouse space and purchasing power we would have had at the start as well.
Well, that's right. There's all them other advantages which weren't the in the thought process. See, this is where we need a combined skill set, because I'm not thinking about the warehouse and the stock.
So get a bigger warehouse, right? That would have been your answer.
Yeah,
if we needed 5 products, get a bigger warehouse. Yeah. We didn't.
Yeah, if we went down that route, it would have been, we need a bigger warehouse. We need more stock. But the thought process behind the product was for the guys using it, the workshop owners. It's simple. One can, multiple applications. And let's be honest, we're not. Yes, we're here to sell products, but I think having also a workshop owner and a diag technician, if you like, on board as part of the team as well. I think of it slightly different. I'm not just looking at, well, it's got a little bit of that stuff in, so we can call it a DPF cleaner, and it cheapens the product. That's never the thought process behind it. It's how good can that little can be.
And look at the level of customers who are repeat purchasing from us as well. Yeah, these are
they're not stupid.
The best of the best, right?
Yeah, we've got some tier 1 customers, and the good thing with that is, if we're not doing the job right, we'll very quickly get to know about it from a lot of the guys. And I say that with a huge amount of respect to a lot of the guys in our customer base. If that stuff's not doing its job, they're not going to be happy.
The repeat business.
No, absolutely. The guys aren't.
Well, you've seen this already. People have been using other brands.
Yep.
I'm good. I'm happy with that brand.
Absolutely.
And then tried our product. You've dropped a can in and go, just try.
Absolutely. We've had
and it's an order. It's wow, that is actually better than what I'm using.
Yep.
Which I found mind blowing, because I was of the mindset, a can's a can, right? An additive's an additive. Yep. They're nowhere near the same.
And that's quite funny. Anyone watching this now, obviously we had early discussions where we come up with a concept with this idea, and we had conversations and stuff like that. And I remember sat at home in my kitchen, and I said to Lindsay, I was like, right, I'm trying different products and stuff like that, and I'm pretty not necessarily I'm unhappy, but I'm a bit disappointed. I'm like
underwhelmed.
It maybe does the job, but it's too slow, it's too long, it's too smoky. It's too whatever, various different reasons with different stuff. And I sat at home one night and I went, we need to do this. We need our own stuff in the can, and then we know what it does. We know we're not changing the quality and stuff like that. But I've got no idea whatsoever how to run a business like that. And that's when,
all the hats came together. Yeah, exactly.
All hats came together, and it probably sound harebrained as well as, what do we think about launching our own additives and lubricants brand?
And when we look at the numbers, the minimum order quantities we had to fulfill.
Well, because we're having it manufactured, we can't. You're not buying.
This is a big investment, right? For all three of us, me, you, and Chris. It was
like a big leap of faith, But I believe that we had the right skill sets between us to make this work.
Sure.
No shifty people, nobody in it for the short term, quick buck, which is the way we'll build it. We'll build and build.
I don't think we could do a chat like this as well without appreciating what Dean's done for the branding, and Dean at Nova Barn, of course.
Yeah, I love it. The branding, it's on. It's the backdrop. It's
the remit was make us a sexy looking can, and
he smashed it.
I mean, look, it makes me feel proud when you see this stuff on the shelf. It's the branding's on point, I think, as well. Without Dean,
and that helps.
We wouldn't have had that.
From a workshop owner, a guy in the workshop, your mechanic, and he's using an oil flush or he's using a Freezies Pro. He probably doesn't really care what the label looks like. He cares about what's inside the can. But from the business owner that's got a nice, front of house, and stuff like that. Some of our customers have got beautiful receptions and stuff like that. the
I
display
think their
stand.
retail
Then,
customer coming in from the stockist
and then
point
and
of
it's
view.
it's
You've
easy
got
on
to
the
have
eye.
a really nice looking display.
It's
Point of
easy
sale.
on the eye, and
Yeah.
it fits into a nice environment and
Yeah.
stuff like that, and it looks
Definitely.
brilliant.
You've got a consumer walking into a workshop. It does look great.
Yeah.
It does look like something you might want to purchase off the workshop. And
To be honest, the display stand helps me because, newsflash, I'm the world's worst salesman. All right.
yeah.
I've never thought, oh, maybe you should buy some cans of this to take away with you. I use it all the, I'm a big, and I always have been way before DCL and way before the DPF Doctor and everything like that. I've always used additives regularly on my vehicles just to keep things running happy, keep the, very expensive when a fuel system goes wrong and a high pressure pump or injectors. And so I've always over-serviced vehicles and I've always used additives, and I'm a firm believer in them. But I never try and sell them to my customers because I always forget, and I'm telling them, oh, we found this problem with your car. This is what was causing your DPF problem. Show them some before and after results and talk them through the thing. Thank you very much. Here's some advice, and off they wander. And then you think, if they had a couple of cans of Emissions Detox Pro, that, maybe their driving style's not quite where we want it to be, and I've educated them. But now I've got an actual visual where people go, oh, so what's this stuff then? Is this what you use in my vehicle?
Yeah.
Oh, so you use this yourself? And we have one of our vehicles does all the wrong journeys, our VW Amarok. Dots around local and stuff. It's very rarely out of the town.
Prime target for a clogged DPF, yeah.
Yeah, and everything else.
Yeah.
EGR, turbo problems and stuff. So, we're using the additives regular just to keep things running happy. So having that as a visual in there and it looking appealing, professional, sexy, as you said, Tom.
Yeah.
So we might be pushing my luck on that, mind, the sexy can of additive.
Well, it's probably the only sexy thing in the business, right?
It's probably.
None of us are.
We're well past our sell-by date.
Our
Being
sexy
easy,
date.
our sexiness is long gone, But I think it helps. So if you've got a reception, we've got a couple of parts shops that's got them in there,
Yes.
and the product stands out.
It does.
So it just makes it a little bit easier to sell and easier on the eye. So
and I think what's really, really nice with the DC Lubricants products is that the sort of association with the DPF Doctor network. That they're the experts, a majority of them using this product.
them guys know how, because it's something I cover on training, is things we should be looking at when we're in the danger zone. A vehicle comes in on a recovery truck because the DPF's so badly blocked. You can't just squirt some potion in and hope for the best when you're at that level. Low level blockages, it's pretty straightforward. But we go in depth in our training and stuff. So them guys should be watching what's happening during the process of cleaning a DPF. So it should immediately stand out how powerful, how safe it is, and things. And that, them guys using that day in, day out. They're not just doing it because we say, oh, this stuff's great. They've done our training. They will know.
Yeah.
There's no, they're watching the results. They're not just going, oh,
Real
the
time, isn't it? Yeah.
computer says that's dropped from there to there. They're monitoring it during the cleaning process, and they're seeing how quick it's working, how safely it's working, and things like that. So yeah, that the association we're there. We've had the same sort of theory behind the DPF Doctor is let's just do things right.
Yeah.
We're not just dots on the map. We offer a large quantity of training, and there isn't another
industry leading, isn't it?
There isn't another training provider globally that has the quantity of DPF training that we offer. You might get a 2-hour or a 4-day course or a 1-day course or something, but that's not even going to scratch the surface.
I've been privileged enough to look in to your training portal. And,
You'd probably take 10 days
the
to go
content
through
there
the
is
it's extensive.
ridiculously massive, isn't it?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So for them guys, all being DCL customers, it's nice because the guys know what they're looking at.
Certainly,
or they should do anyway.
No, but when I'm out and about seeing potential customers to look at stocking DCL products, I think the association with DPF Doctor, it gives a good confidence level to any customer thinking about joining
Definitely.
as a DCL customer. You know, that's quality assured there without a doubt.
Yeah, so, and I think, showing our age a little bit, I think we were discussing earlier, John worked out that between the team at this moment in time, we were a small team,
Yeah.
well-oiled machine, and did you say it's about 90 years experience?
It's over 90 years
I
experience
think we're
in
probably,
the aftermarket.
due a letter from the King.
That's not because we're over 90, that's our combined, you know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
but, you know, I've got to say, 30,
Feeling
I add a little bit to that. We're having 34 years experience since
Yeah.
I was a young, skinny school leaver going to start working on trucks, you know.
Obviously, if Chris was here, we'd see we have got a young pup in there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris is the young one amongst us, and
Yeah, I joined a little bit later to the trade. But
still with absolutely
Yeah.
tons of years of experience in our field of diagnostics as well, and
wealth of knowledge.
general business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think it's important, and it's important for our customers to know, yes, we're here to sell product, but we're not a sales team. You know,
No.
traditionally, a lot of additive companies, and that's cool, as long as they do a good job, it's fine, but it's a lot of people pretend that they manufacture stuff and they don't. They pretend they've got an R&D department and they don't, and stuff like that. But, you know, we back up everything we say. We have it manufactured for us.
Correct.
We do not have our own chemical plant.
With a lot of your input,
Yeah.
with
But-
the R&D there.
But on the R&D, we have a legit role
Yeah.
of liaison with them, because
Sure.
that's the deal.
Yeah.
That works well for them, because the project we're working on them at the minute isn't something that their R&D chemists have done before.
Correct.
So they're gonna learn. You know, they're gonna probably be able to help another client another day
Sure,
with
they
what
will.
we learn from this as well. You know, so but you know, we are, you know, we're not going Costco or whatever and buying some cans of stuff and sticking a DCL label on it.
Definitely not.
It's not.
Definitely not that.
We have substance, we have experience, and we have brand values of all of us combined.
Yeah,
we all
absolutely.
want to do things properly, you know.
Yeah. I think also to mention, you know, that we don't want to be hard selling our customer base either. We allow them.
Well,
to
that's a
when
point
they want to
actually as well, that it's something that will continue going forward. You know, when we have new team members coming in, there's no telesales, there's no calling you up. You become a stockist. Nobody's going to be on the phone saying, you haven't bought this, or you need to buy more of that. Inward calls, we're here. If someone has a problem, we're here.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, but the ordering's easy online. Order it 24 hours a day. Obviously, we're not going to process it at midnight, but it'll be processed the next morning, and it'll be packed and shipped. You know, so
Yeah.
no pushy sales, guys.
No pushy
You know,
sales.
so I think as well, if we get things right with a product, why do we need to be pushy? You know, the feedback from us has been the end user, not necessarily the workshop, but the customer coming back in and asking and saying, "Well, the car's running a lot nicer, and can I buy another can of product?" You know,
Of course,
so
we always want new workshops on board.
Yeah.
yeah,
We don't want to be twisting their arm behind their back to do that. We want
No.
to see, and they can see from other customers that
Yeah.
we've got a good product. If
Yeah.
they want to try a few cans, that's fine.
yeah.
I generally believe once that happens, we will have new customers on board as well.
And that's what's happening throughout this year. It's been
Yeah.
very, very clear to see that, you know, once somebody has a can in their hand, they pop that into the vehicle, they see the benefits of it. There is a shift change in mindset with what DCL is and how they
Oh,
see
it actually
it.
works.
And it actually works.
The all-in-oneness as well, you know, the less stocking at a workshop, you know, we keep repeating that part,
Yep.
but it's so important for a business to spend as least as possible,
Yep,
but make as much as possible, right?
absolutely.
It works. It works for everybody.
Plus,
Customers stocking less boxes.
something that you've touched on,
Yeah.
John, when you've been out on the ground visiting customers, is if you've got a front of house team and they're not technicians, they're semi-technical because they're explaining technical things to customers, but it also makes it easy. It's an all-in-one additive. Customer asks for do you have an injector cleaner? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
EGR
ticks
cleaner,
that box. Everything's in there.
turbo
So
cleaner,
yeah, everything's in there. Yeah, and that's been a good bit of feedback, because something that we've also listened to as well is the non-technical person can get lost in too big a product range. What's the difference between that fuel system cleaner and the pre-MOT treatment? What's the difference between that one and that one? And it's very long-winded, where it's also easier for the front house to sell. Yep, this is our petrol treatment.
Or
this
diesel.
This is our diesel treatment.
Yeah.
It does everything. It's just easier. Keep it simple. That's my motto with our technical training.
Yep.
Our motto, and it's one of the first things we say on the first session, is keep it simple.
Yeah.
If I'm speaking to another technician and it's another workshop, we can go technical if we need to go technical. But when we're talking to a customer, we don't need to be scientific and stuff. We need to speak in a language they understand, and that
it's got to be layman's. It's got to be clear.
And that one can, it's got all the bullet points on the front, and it's just easy to understand and easy to sell, you know. So, but no, cool. So hopefully that's let people know a little bit more about us and stuff like that. But
yeah, it's good to lay everything out, isn't it?
We've got through we've got through a big learning phase in year one. We became a good, strong supplier. We have huge amounts of stock, you know, so come buy it.
Huge amounts of customer loyalty.
Order more, get a bigger warehouse.
We've got more on the way, actually.
So,
spreadsheet told me to.
2025, here we come.
2025, going to be a year of growth. Get in touch. Any questions? We're happy to ask them, you know. But you know,
always at the end of the line or email.
We'll keep the wheels turning, keep doing things right, and hopefully anyone watching deal with some nice people as well along the way.
Yeah.
You know, so
awesome.
Okay.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Cheers, folks.